Hi there. I'm Frank Iragwan, and here we are again. We are in front of the Vale Elementary School in downtown Vale, sort of downtown. Anyhow, we are walking together, talking together, and we decided that we wanted to have some of those right in the front line so far as the teaching endeavors, which has really been something for them and for us all, I guess. But before we start, even though I know a little bit about them, and I might kind of interject, I want them to tell you about themselves, a little bit about themselves and their family and their background. So I'm starting with Lynda Gastanaga, and will be followed by Becky Hawkins.
Okay, hi, I'm Lynda Gastanaga, and I was born and raised in Vale. My maiden name was Squirrel. I have gone through elementary, high school in Vale, and I currently teach in my third grade classroom that I attended school in, so that's kind of unique. I am married, and we live in Fruitland, and I have a daughter and a son. My daughter is currently getting her PhD in linguistics at the University of Illinois. And yes, and she has a couple more years to finish that. And my son recently graduated from Oregon State University through EOU in natural resources. So yeah, we're getting them on their way. I have taught in Vale this is my 30th year teaching in Vale, all kindergarten.
You're too young for that.
Yeah.
30.
I know. I taught my first year in NISA when I got out of college, and then there was an opportunity to come to Vale, which is what I wanted to do because it was home, and that's what I'd always dreamed of, is working, in the town that I grew up. It's just a great community, and I wanted to, share my whatever skill of teaching with the kids and just be close to family because that's important to me. So,
Right.
And here I am still.
Well, let's go to another, I know, Vale-lite, long background.
Yeah. I too was born and raised in Vale. My maiden name was Fowers. I had 6 sisters, and we all went through Vale School. And then when I got married, and my husband and I ended up moving back to Vale, and so our 4 daughters also went through the Vale school system and had a great time. Just lots and lots of good experiences for our family in the school and in the community. I didn't start teaching until my kids were in school, so this is my 16th year. And I have taught a few different grades. I started out in middle school, and then I taught 2nd grade, and then I taught just reading for a few years. And then this year, because of having to do things differently, I taught in just a 5th grade enclosed classroom. And I have enjoyed every one of the grades. I don't really have a favorite, and I kind of like moving around a little bit. But our family has very much enjoyed Vale, and we consider it home, even though now my address is Ontario. We always tell everybody we're from Vale.
Well, talking about, you talked about some of the things this past year. Let's start. We know that it's really been something. It's been over a year now that you've been in this what would you call it?
I'm not sure what we call it. This chaotic state. It's gotten much better, but in the beginning, yeah, we were just grasping for straws, trying to get connections with the kids, with the parents, trying to help them, support them as much as we could because, our hands were tied. There's not a lot we could do.
So how'd you manage it? How'd you do that?
Well, we learned a lot of new things, I would say.
Yes.
Last spring, we scrambled and sent home packets to kids and tried to learn how to do Zoom.
Yes,
and there was a lot of trial and error and slow internet connections.
Mm-hmm. and teaching the parents to be able to do that as well. Us as educators, we are used to changes and stuff, but for the poor parents, we just dropped it on them. And okay, you've got to Zoom, and you've got to, it was definitely a challenge. But they did a great job of supporting us and. Getting together with us on Zoom and picking up, dropping off the packets. So we made it through last year, and this year's been better. It was definitely, not ideal study.
More organized?
Yeah, we had a little more time.
Yes.
We had a little more time to prepare. In the last spring, we had 0 time to prepare, I feel like. And then in the fall, towards the end of summer, we kind of knew things are going to be different, and we could scramble and try to learn a little bit more of how to teach, virtually. So
It certainly must be a different experience teaching virtually.
Oh, yes.
What's the big thing that's really different, that really maybe something that you didn't even really think about until you were plunged right in the middle of it?
Well, I didn't really expect all the parents to sit there watching as we're dancing and singing in kindergarten. I was like, okay, you parents can go to the side. I told them join in, because if we got to do it. So, things that I didn't expect.
And probably like any type of, we're used to handing a paper out and then passing it back into us, and just creating new ways to see if students are learning, or, how to kind of give them an assignment and feel like it was worthwhile.
How'd you even do that, getting stuff back and forth?
Well, in my grade level of kindergarten, we continued to send home the work packets.
Okay.
And then the parents would drop them off, and then we could see, how they were doing. Assessing was tough, because with kindergarten, it's one-on-one, and we couldn't just say, come on up and tell me what letters you know. So, we didn't do a lot of assessing, and, we look at the work that was coming back. And so that was the difficult part for us.
And in the upper grades, we did not send any packets home. And so we learned how to create assignments that could be done digitally. And so we really had to learn a lot more technology than we wanted to. How to take a picture and put it on there so that they can actually type in there. They had to learn a lot. I had to learn a lot for an old person.
Yes,
a lot of
technology
technology
is not.
I didn't want to learn. I did have to learn.
Yeah.
I hear that we have advanced probably a decade from where we would have been but for this. So maybe there's just a little silver lining.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
On the other hand, we've been hearing a lot about that the students not being in the classroom, that perhaps they're really kind of falling behind. So what's your perception for our listeners? Because I've kind of wondered myself, what does it look like on the front line?
I feel like since we've come back, it's been a lot better. Kids were so eager to come back that even when we were coming back just for a couple of hours on alternate days, I felt like, that helped us a lot, see where they were. They were ready to be back in school, and so they've worked hard. As far as being behind as a normal fifth grader, I don't know. I think on an individual basis, it made a difference. We'd look at each individual a little bit differently. But
So you haven't seen anything really dramatic so far as...
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. I mean, I have kids that I know probably would be farther along had they been here with me all year long, every day. But I was just thinking about it today. We have, in our reading curriculum in kindergarten, we have 20 units, and I've got kids, getting ready to almost finish that, which is a typical year. So they definitely have, they stayed with us in the fall and got those beginning skills. And when they got in the classroom, like she said, they were ready, and we've been pushing them. We're going at a faster pace than probably normally would. But I think they're, the majority are getting what they need to be successful for the next year.
We're happy to hear that.
Yes.
You both are Vailites. I don't know about you, but when I can recall graduating and saying, I'm out of here. Here I am. I'm Vailite right back here. You two are also.
Yeah.
You stayed. So what is it that you like about Vail?
Well, I just like the small town feel. I like knowing my students, the backgrounds of their families, where they came from. When I taught Nissa, they were all strangers to me. I didn't have those connections of knowing the families and kind of having an insight to what to expect, or why they might be doing certain things or whatever. And it was just home. I was never one of those that wanted to get out of Vail. I said I went to Treasure Valley for 2 years. I went to La Grande, and then I came back and married someone from Ontario, and we live in Fruitland. But still, this is home. My parents are here, and I just wanted to teach here. This is, I didn't really have anywhere else. I did my student teaching here, so I didn't ever stray very far at all for very long.
What about you, Becky?
I just like the small town feel. I like the rural atmosphere. I just feel like like Lynda said, we have a better chance of knowing our kids' backgrounds. We have had their brothers and sisters. We can make some stronger connections to students because we know their families and know their situations. I also appreciate the rural atmosphere of getting out and getting your hands dirty and working. Kids that still go outside and play and create their own fun, and I think that is more available where we live. Also trusting, being able to have trust in the other people in our community. We would look out for each other's kids, on the street or in the store, or I feel like for the most part we can trust the people that we interact with.
We do have a lot of ties, don't we? In fact, at times it's surprising how many ties we do have. Yeah. Now, I'm wondering, we've talked about some of the good things, but you as an individual, I would think, just having to take care of everything, handle everything. When you get up in the morning, is there anything in particular that you think, boy, I'm happy for this? Mm-hmm. What do you think?
Well, definitely happy for my health because, you see things that people go through that just change in a day's time. And so I'm very thankful for the support of my family and my friends and my kindergarten team that I work with. We work well together, and just thankful to be able to have a job to come to. Yeah. Some days you might not be as eager to get here as others, but yeah, just to be thankful to have this small town support that we do in Vail.
I would say that I am just thankful for life each day. I am, like Lynda, I am thankful for my health. I see a lot of times it's taken really quickly. And so I am thankful for each day. I am thankful for the people that I interact with. I am thankful for the opportunity to help others. That drives me every day. I feel like I get up and I'm just like, help me see those individuals. Help me see people as individuals and how I might maybe just make a little bit nicer day for them. So I am thankful for that opportunity to be able to be healthy enough and to be in an area where I can go out and just be thankful to be where I can maybe interact and help someone else.
Well, that's great. And we are certainly appreciating our teachers of what you do. And I know that our listeners, as well as myself, know that you really do make a difference. And of course, each of us can think back to our own teachers and those that really did have an effect and an influence. And you certainly do that. I look at both of you and I think, gee, I remember them back when. And at this point in my life, I guess for me, I wake up every morning, I say, thank you, God, one more day.
Yeah, exactly.
Here we go.
Exactly.
So thank you very much for what you do and how you do it. And as always, we are, as a community, walking together and talking together. We hope in the future, perhaps, a little bit less distance,
Yes, exactly.
but nevertheless together.